guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I want to talk about the bizarreness of James Charles' video that he posted. I put a video up on Patreon a few days ago about all of this, but I know a lot of you guys aren't on there and you want to chit chat. You've been wanting to know my opinion. So I said, you know what? I'm getting ready for my day. I will come to you guys this morning and I will tell you guys what I feel about this James Charles video. This is one of the most chaotic videos I have ever seen in my life. And the reason why this video is so damn chaotic to me is because it presents itself as not chaotic. It's to the point where you almost get brainwashed watching it. I know that sounds crazy, but hear me out. When you're watching it, you almost forget what you're here for. Like, you're watching the video. I remember I was sitting, had my laptop open. I'm watching the video, and then he starts doing makeup. So I'm like, is this a regular James Charles video? I'm just thinking I'm watching a regular James Charles video. His voice is at a noticeably low level. James Charles is not me. James Charles is not screaming his videos, but James Charles talks at a reasonable volume. His voice is like disturbingly low, and you're like, why is his voice so low? And then halfway through the video, he starts to give you an eye look, and you're like, wait a minute, what's going on here? What is going on here? And you want to know, when it got to the eye look part, I said, poor person. The person who he referenced for the eye look video, I'm like, she's probably sitting at home like Nene, like, why am I in this? Like, when James Charles probably reached out to her and told them that she was going to use their, he was going to use their inspo pic, but they probably didn't know it was going to be wrapped up in all of this food. And I know they like, why am I in this? Because it was so weird. Like, he starts at a ridiculously low tone. He's talking about something so seriously. Then all of a sudden, he's like beating his face, like legit beating his face so hard. And then he's mad in the video, and then all of a sudden he's doing an eye look, and he's like, so let's move on. And you're just like, what am I here for? Like, what am I here for? Like I said, as I'm watching the video, I almost started to question myself. I almost started to question myself, because I don't watch James Charles videos on a regular. I didn't watch him before he was in this mess, and I'm definitely not watching them after. I don't watch James Charles. So I'm like, is this just a regular James Charles video? But anyway, I discussed this on my Patreon, and on my Patreon I said James Charles is not slick. I said this in my first video about James Charles' accountability video. James Charles is so calculated. That's why it's very hard for me to believe the idea that James Charles just goes downstairs to his like house studio and he just records this stuff and like nobody in his team know. James Charles is not just a regular person. He is not just someone who exists on the internet and posts YouTube videos. He is not me. I can, like I said, I can film this video and I can put this video up in an hour, and like I don't have to go through any checks and balances except for YouTube, because I am not this big corporation. I do not employ a bunch of people. Like, that is just not my life. It is almost a one-man show over here. James Charles is not like that. James Charles has so many people he employs. So many. He has your regular people he employs maybe a manager, a publicist, a public, like you know, he has all the regular stuff. Then he has stuff on top of that just run his business. The people who send out his merch, the people who do his contracts, the people who do, like, he has so many people that he employs. So many people who love some James Charles money. So many people, I almost forgot to do my makeup, worry about James Charles makeup. So many people who depend on him getting on the internet and saying, hi, sister, for them to get a check. Too many people for him to say he gets on the internet and just posts videos, because he can't, especially because James Charles is caught up in so much drama. But the reason why I brought up that James Charles is not slick James Charles is so calculated. The idea, this video actually almost went by me. If I didn't follow a few of you guys on Twitter who, you know, stay tuned in with the drama, I would have never known this video came up. I would have never known this video ever came to be, because I promise you, where was the coverage? Where was the coverage? There was absolutely no coverage of this video, and that was absolutely intentional. I said this on my Patreon a few days ago. That was absolutely intentional. There is so much going on in the world right now, with everything going on in the Olympics, with everything going on with the Delta variant, with everything going on with the sea being on fire, with everything going on with more drama, with everything going on with Britney Spears, with everything, there is so much going on in the world right now. Like, when I log on to Twitter, everybody is mad at something different. Everybody is mad at something different right now. So this is the perfect time to drop a video, because here's the thing, you're always going to get met with people who are going to have something to say. Like, it's not going to fly by everybody, but James Charles doesn't care about flying by everybody. He cares about it not being the topic of the day. James Charles don't want to be the topic of the day, and he succeeded. He succeeded. If James Charles' team wanted to not be the topic of the day, they succeeded. I didn't even see a bunch of drama folks post videos about this, because it quite literally went under the radar. First of all, he did a Friday drop. I said this. He did a Friday drop. If you know anything about YouTube, Friday is the worst day to put up a video. Now, I don't give a good goddamn, but if you're someone like James Charles, Friday, you know you don't post videos on Friday, because ain't nobody gonna see those things, because people got better things to do. Because YouTube is such a long form way to get media, and compared to like a TikTok or something, like, so people would have to sit down and watch a video, and on a Friday, don't nobody got time for that. People are out and about. So he knew no one was gonna watch this video, and that's why I refuse. Like, the word accountability was thrown around so much in this video, and none was taken. Like, every way possible, James Charles tried to make sure y'all knew that he wasn't going to take accountability. So this is the accountability that James Charles decided to take in this video. In this video, James Charles presented you with this type of accountability. I know you've heard it. So you leave your purse on the counter, and some thief runs along and grabs something out of your purse while you're in the other room and steal your money. You come back and you catch the MFer, and you like, why would you steal money out of my purse? This is James Charles. James Charles is like, you're totally right. I should not have stolen out of your purse. That is not good. That is not great. But have you ever thought about not leaving your purse unattended, boo? Like, have you ever thought that maybe if your purse wasn't unattended, maybe if you didn't walk into the other room, I wouldn't have stolen from you? Next time, make sure you do your job so I don't get caught slipping. That is what it is. It's one of those, oh my gosh, I ran you over in the street. I'm so sorry. But what were you in the street for? I know I was looking at my phone and I wasn't looking where I was going, and I was texting, but you know, if you wasn't in the street, I wouldn't have been able to hit you at all, right? So like, maybe next time stop being in the street, because you know, me being in my phone really doesn't matter if like no one's in the street. You know, it's one of those accountabilities where it's like, I see what I did wrong, but like, let's be clear, if you fools wasn't out here lying to me and doing all this stuff, I would have never been caught. So maybe if other people would do their jobs and stop trying to set me up, I would be great. I would flourish. It was one of those accountabilities. So now we're at strike 3. We have heard James Charles talk about this 3 times, and somehow the third one is the worst. When he first put up his initial Twitter response to this, it was bad. It was bad down, right? And it was like, okay, that sucks. Then when he put up my holding myself accountable video, that was terrible. And then somehow he comes with a third, and the third is the worst. And the reason why the third is the worst is because you see the clear manipulation tactics. You see the puppet master in the back. You're seeing how the sausage gets made almost. Now here is the thing. James Charles, like I said in my last video, is not trying to appease me. He's not trying to appease me. I don't buy James Charles merch. I don't watch James Charles videos regularly. The only time I tune into James Charles is if there's really something to tune into. If I hear that a video is really great, or if he's in a video with someone I like. That's really the only time that someone like me tunes into James Charles. Therefore, I am not the target demographic that makes James Charles one of the richest 20-something-year-olds in America. I am not the demographic that gives James Charles what he wants. And like I said, because James Charles is not just one person, James Charles is very aware of his demographic. He knows the only person he has to appease is kids and the people who sign his check. And if it was just kids, James Charles wouldn't put up none of this stuff, because kids don't care. And you can't be upset. Once again, we're going to stop blaming kids for being kids. Kids aren't supposed to care about this stuff. Kids aren't supposed to understand this type of stuff because they're kids. Let kids have fun on the internet. The problem is James Charles is grown. The people who work for James Charles is grown. They should understand the severity of this situation, and to never put kids in the situation to where they would have to choose between someone they really love and this type of situation. The person James Charles puts these videos up for is the advertiser. It's the Morphe. It's the people who want to get like in bed, for lack of a better word. The people who want to get in bed and do business with James Charles. That's who these videos are for, so that they know James Charles took accountability. James Charles, you know, he feels good about himself. But it just shows you, I don't know James Charles from a hole in the wall, but James Charles has this weird thing. I know his team probably be tired of him. It's almost like his team gives him a cut and dry thing. Like, you need to go in here, you need to take accountability. But it's all like, he can't do it. He can't do it. James Charles has to come in here with a feistiness. This is where I said in the beginning, all of a sudden James gets really mad. So like, he's doing his makeup and he's talking like this. So, you know, you guys, I just want to let you guys know I've been gone for like 3 months. Even though I haven't been gone 3 months, I've been like on Instagram, Twitter. I put up a little video about how, you know, I think my assistant is trying to sue me, saying I called her out of her name or some stuff, and I was saying the N-word. Like, so I haven't really been gone, but you know, I've been gone. And you know, I just wanted to let you guys know that I'm taking accountability behind closed doors. And then all of a sudden, it's like, I don't know who been online lying to me. I ain't no 20 people out here accuse me of nothing. There's not 20 victims of James Charles, let alone one victim of James Charles. I'm so tired of y'all lying on me. Like, at least one person came out and said they didn't lie on me. Like, all of a sudden, he turned into this. Like, he was given a lie. And I'm like, what the hell? He was like this, and you know, he's beating his face, and you know, then all of a sudden it went from 0 to 100. I'm just like, what happened? How did this all of a sudden turn into James Charles got lied on, and the video never recovers. The video never recovers after that. After all of a sudden James Charles goes like, people been lying on me, talking about there's 20 people who have been hurt by James Charles. And the video never recovers, and James Charles takes that same tone here on out, and he decides to turn this into what everybody has done to James Charles. This video would have been perfectly fine if James Charles just would have admitted to the stuff that he did and left it there. No one expects James Charles to get on the internet and take accountability for stuff that did not happen. If James Charles says people are lying on him, who am I to say that there aren't some of the things that have come out aren't lies, right? I don't know the full story. But that doesn't matter in this situation. When it comes to taking accountability, that's why I bring up the stealing out of somebody's purse. Why did they leave the purse there? Running over someone in the street because you weren't looking. Why were they in the street? What they were doing does not matter. That comes with their accountability. That's their accountability. That's their story. You have to say what you do. I was texting and driving. That's how I ran over somebody. I'm a thief. That's why I stole out of your purse. This is what I did. That's all James Charles has to talk about. Because if you are taking accountability and you don't take accountability for the lies, then then we're forced to say James Charles said he didn't talk about that stuff, so it must not be. He could come on this video and say, these are the things that I did, and this is what I'm taking accountability for. So everything else must not be true, right? Or you don't believe it to be true, James Charles, because you didn't take accountability for those things. You don't have to bring up the fact that people are lying on you, because that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter in the game of accountability. But it does matter in the game of YouTube politics, because plausible deniability. As long as there's an idea that some people are lying on you, perception can become reality. As long as you have proof, or so you say, that one person is lying on you, then everyone could be lying on you, right? It's like once people believe you're a liar, now we have to question everything that person says now. So now that James Charles doesn't specify exactly what lies are true, he just blatantly puts out, this person has been lying on me, saying it's 20 people, da 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 da. I don't keep up with the story that much, so I don't give a damn who he was talking about. But as long as he can say someone was lying on him, everyone is lying on him. So the people who are going to come to his defense, kids, they're gonna just be like, but you heard in the video, like, he said people are lying on them. So it could anytime anything comes out, it could be just a lie. It could be just a lie. James Charles said people are lying on him, and that's the point of putting something like that in an accountability video. It's the way for you not to take accountability. It's the way for you to say, oh my God, some people are lying on me. And so now we move forward, or the people who are James Charles apologists move forward and say, you know what? Maybe some people are lying on James Charles. Maybe some people are lying on James Charles. So now every single thing that comes out turns into, maybe they're lying on James Charles. And so as long as you have that escape route, you have that back door of, you know what, I can say some people are lying because maybe some people were lying, there's been no real accountability can be taken. Another bizarre thing about this video, I had a field day with this on my Patreon. Why is James Charles acting like he didn't say certain things in the first video? This video almost expects you to not, because he deleted the first holding myself accountable video, it's like he expects you to not remember the first accountability video where he admitted to things. That's the part where I'm confused. Like, he's like saying things like, oh, there's no victims of James Charles and I didn't do anything to anyone. Like, he's making statements like, and then they don't make sense, because 1 minute he's like, I'm taking full accountability for what I did, and then he's like, I want to let people know there's no victim to James Charles at all. And it's just like, but didn't last video, if I remember correctly, you admitted to the fact that you was out here doing what you was doing and it was illegal activity? Like, I'm confused. Like, the video left me so confused. This email finds me confused. I was so confused. I'm like, does he expect us not to remember because the video was so bad? I'm like, like, I don't know, like, it seemed like, because, you know, the girls come, it seemed like blatant lies were told. Like, I'm like, but you admitted to some things. You admitted, like, it's like I don't know. It was so confusing. Like, this is how what's running through my head right now is exactly what was running through my head as I'm watching the video. I'm like, so did holding myself accountable never happen, where you literally are holding yourself accountable because you was out here doing stuff that you should not have been doing? Like, what? Like, am I missing something? Am I missing something? What? Like, where is all of this coming from? And it's just weird. Now, believe it or not, that's not even the most offensive part of the video, because, like, I'm just like, whatever. Maybe he believes, like, you know, words. Maybe he used specific words in the first video that maybe makes it seem like now he can say there's no victims of James Charles. Whatever. The weirdest part of this video is the James Charles pity party that comes about halfway through. Yes, all of this stuff is happening. We're still only halfway through, because the latter half of the video, he's going to give us a random eye look. Like, what? So we're only halfway through and we get the James Charles pity party. Now, I don't care. This sounds really cruel of me saying, because James Charles does say that he got hit. Someone came to his house and he got hit. The reason why I say don't nobody cares, because that's not what we're here for. That is not what we're here. That is a ploy. That is a ploy. Because now I look like the bad guy, right? me saying I don't care makes me look like the bad guy, because I'm sitting, because it's like, what, you don't care that James Charles got hit in his own home, and I look like the bad guy? That's the purpose of it. The purpose of it is when someone is being accused of something or held accountable for something, and they start bringing up the ways in which society has hurt them, that is a ploy, that is a way for you to take the blame up, to make the people who are coming for you seem like bad people. So if you continue to come for me, you must not care. You must not care about the troubles that I face. But it's not about not caring about the troubles that you face. That's not what I'm here for. That is not what I'm here for. That's what the weird, bizarre part of this video is. The random pity party that gets thrown for James Charles in the middle of this video. He keeps going on and on and on about all the things that he is going to do to make sure he is never in this situation again. He is never in this situation again. He is never hurt by this. He never has to deal with this again. He's only going to let people come over to his house when his roommates are over. He's only going to do this. He's only going to do that. He's going to be more careful when he's on the dating sites. And then I'm like, who hurt James Charles? Who hurt, beyond what he said in this video about getting hit? Who hurt James Charles? Who hurt? Raise your hand if you have hurt James Charles. Because can't no kid hurt James Charles. Can't no kid hurt James Charles. No 17-year-old kid, unless a 17-year-old kid points a gun to my head and pulls the trigger, no 17-year-old kid can hurt me, because I'm an adult. Unless it gets physical, like they physically hurt me, no 17-year-old kid who has to answer to their mommy can hurt me, because that's not how power dynamics work. That's not how power dynamics. It's the same way I said no kid can trick me. No kid, like, they're kids. They're kids. Like, even in this video, that's why I say all three things that he did about this is weird, because James Charles continues to put himself on the same level as kids, and kids who don't even have as much money as him. The video just reads as so bizarre. I'm so sorry. That's what I came on here most to say. Like, the video, I thought it was just me, but like after I posted a video on Patreon about this, where I pretty much just said exactly what I'm saying in this video, I'm like, so it's not just me. This video reads as very, very weird. This video doesn't have a purpose outside of the fact of just I don't know. It's very clear that James Charles knows that his fans are little kids. They just need some plausible deniability, and their plausible deniability is going to be that people are lying on them. Why am I baking like it's 2016 right now? Like, what? Anyways, I'm being just as chaotic as James right now. Anyways, like, and I'm just like, what's going on here? It is clear that James Charles and his team have decided that they just want to move on from this, and they found the perfect time to do it, and it seems like it's going clear. It seems like it's in the clear. Like I said in my original video, you are foolish to believe that YouTubers are going to stay going forever. Did I think James Charles would come back this soon? No, but you're dumb to believe James Charles is going to stay going for long. James Charles runs an entire company. So of course James Charles was going to come back, and James Charles is back. And as long as you know what you will do once he comes back, you really shouldn't even be bothered by it. Like I said, I can't be guardians of the internet. I can always give my opinion, but I can't say who gets to be on the internet and who does not get to be on the internet. So it's just, I just know I'm not going to watch the videos unless it's a video that I want to put up for you guys, or you guys want me to watch the video. But that's pretty much it. Just know, James Charles, you're not low. James Charles is not low. Like, I see what you're trying to do, James Charles. I see exactly what you're trying to do. But this video took me for a ride. Usually when I'm watching the YouTuber, like, apologies, addressing, telling my truth, you know, breaking my silence, whatever, I'm like, I feel like nothing. I'm just like, okay, whatever. Who cares? I can barely even tell the difference between a good one and a bad one. Some people are always like, ooh, this was a good apology, but I don't even know what, I'm like, whatever. Like, they were just talking, like, I don't know what to say. But this one was just like, it threw me for a loop. It threw me, I'm like literally I was watching it and I'm like, what the hell am I watching? Like, at one point I talked to myself and I'm like, why am I watching a James Charles video? Like, I think I went to go like pick something up from the back of the room, and I came back to my computer and James was still talking. I'm like, why am I watching a James Charles video? Then I remember what I was here for. Like, as he's in between the makeup look, the eye look he wanted us to see so damn bad, I'm like, and the original girl, shout out to you. The eye look is really cute. But yeah, I'm just like, what am I here for again? Then I remember it's because James Charles is caught up in some mess. And it's so funny that James Charles is like, this is not a scandal. Scandals aren't serious, you know, da-da-da-da-da. This is something serious. It's so funny because like when James Charles is usually caught up in a scandal, he pretends like he cares so much. Ooh, not you showing your lace, James, that when you caught up in other shit, you don't care. You only care now because this one is really bad. But the rest of the stuff that do be bad too, you just like, I don't care. I don't care. Anyways, let me finish this look and we'll close out the video. Anyways, that is the end of the video. James Charles should have just said he wanted to come back and he back, and that is it, because this was just a chaotic mess. Anyways, if you do want to see my original video about this, it's over on Patreon, which is As Told by Kenya, and I have a bunch of videos on a bunch of other things. I love you guys so much, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye bye.